Hello everyone, my name is Kirti and I am an assistant professor in ITM. Today I am going to discuss the concept of mobile banking, virtual banking, home banking, electronic payment and electronic money. This is one of the concept which is covered under digital banking or internet banking. Mobile banking. So mobile banking is a facility which enables customer to initiate or to perform the task on their mobile phones. This is provided most of the banks in India and abroad. Customer can use mobile banking to view their account balance, make instant fund transfer or pay bills, etc. So basically this banking is not dependent on any specific service provider and the handset company. This service is offered free of charge and you can even download the app from the Play Store and of a particular bank, and you can use to check the bank balance. You can order a demand draft, stop check payment, and so on. So there are various type of mobile banking like SMS and unstructured supplementary service data, USSD. So basically these both SMS and unstructured supplementary service data can be used when you don't have an Android phone or you don't have an internet connection, because these services use during the offline method. And mobile apps, obviously these apps can be used when you have an Android phone and internet connection. And some of the banks like SBI have incorporated services like loan approval and linking of insurance policy in their mobile banking apps. So basically you can choose an option of auto debit in your internet banking or mobile banking, through which in every month or quarterly or yearly, whichever the transaction mode you adopted, your payment has been deducted when you choose the when you make a standing instruction, right? Now move to types of mobile banking services. So mobile banking over mobile application for smartphones, like for SBI Yono app, and for ICICI Bank, that is iMobile app. So you can use banking services through these apps. Mobile banking over SMS, mobile banking over unstructured supplementary service data. So basically these are the three services which you can use through mobile banking. Now move to virtual banking. Now, a bank offering services predominantly or exclusively over the internet is said to provide virtual banking service. So, virtual bank offers normal banking services including access to saving account, personal and business loan. So, basically it creates a virtual organization, like you heard about the concept of virtual organization. So, basically you no need to move to the bank physically, right? So there is a virtual creation. Previously we used the facility of ATM, now we use the facility of debit and credit card. So this is the concept of virtual banking. Like if I want to withdraw money from the ATM, like if I have an account in ICICI Bank, so basically I no need to just go in the ATM of ICICI Bank. I can withdraw the money in any ATM, right? So that is a virtual banking in which you need not to specifically to go your bank, right? So smart cards, NEFT, RTGS, these are all example of virtual banking. It strengthen the customer relationship to move towards relationship banking, and customer can increasingly moving away from the confines of traditional physical branch banking. So it involves less transaction cost, it leads to customer satisfaction due to prompt handling, it provides to access greater number of customers without having the necessity to open branches in different parts of the country, raising profit of the bank. It lowers the cost of operating branch network along with the reduced staff as well as infrastructure cost, and it provides wide range of quality services, right? So virtual banking is gaining around within the broad spectrum of electronic banking. It provides banking services through extensive use of information technology without direct recourse to the bank by their customers. So the origin of virtual banking can be traced back to the 70s with the installation of automated teller machine in the developed countries, subsequently driven by the competitive market environment and technological upgradation as well as customer pressure. Other types of virtual banking services have grown throughout the world. The other services include ATM networks, national electronic fund transfer, point of sale, smart cards, stored value cards, phone banking. Now move to home banking. So with the introduction of computers, customer need not to necessarily visit the branch to do banking transactions. Further, banking customers are more affluent and technological sophisticated. Less time is available to conduct routine banking business. More such customers find it convenient to use machine for wide range of banking services. It may be corporate banking and personal banking. So basically home banking means, basically in the layman language I can say that, which is provided you the facility of like you are convenient in the environment of home. Like you are sitting in a particular location, you have an internet connection, you have a modem, and you have a customer care number. You just call at that customer care number and for whatever the query you had, right? So you can just tell your query to the customer care, and the person sitting there is responsible to solve their query, right? Or if you have a mail id of that particular bank and you have a complaint, any complaint regarding this, you just write the complaint. So basically home banking means wherever you're sitting you can use that banking facility with the great privileges. And it can be divided into corporate banking and personal banking. So corporate banking, which is used by the various organization in the corporate sector, big organization, and personal banking, which is used by the individual one. Now move to electronic payment. So in 2002 an amendment was made under section 6 of the Negotiable Instrument Act to include an electronic check as a negotiable instrument. It is valid like a paper check issued in electronic form instead of a normal physical form by the use of digital signature. This electronic check is an exact mirror image of the paper check. It is generated, written and signed in a secure system by ensuring the minimum safety standards with or without biometric signature and the asymmetric crypto system, right? So basically electronic payment means when you electronically transfer the money, like you no need to write down of physically, you no need to paper, you just make a transaction electronically. The example of electronic payment is ATM card, credit card, debit card, smart card, biometric card. Electronic fund transfer is real time gross settlement RTGS, National Electronic Fund Transfer NEFT, ECS electronic clearing system, credit and ECS debit. So these are the examples of uh, electronic payment. For example, I can just transfer the money from the ATM from one account to another account, and I can make a purchasing through point of sale. I just go to the shop and make a payment through my card. No need to withdraw the cash and submit the same to the particular vendor, right? Same with the debit card, same with the smart card, biometric card. Biometric card, basically you have a thumb impression put in the card, so no need to do that. Same with the RTGS NEFT, I just through electronic banking or through internet banking, I just put in the details of the nominee account or beneficiary account to which I need to transfer the amount, right? Same with the electronic clearing system ECS and ECS debit. Now move to electronic money. So funds loaded in a card for use as cash is called as electronic money. It can be used for making payments for purchases. Electronic money requires authorization of PIN. The vendor presents the information to the bank for credit in account. Electronic money is a floating claim on a private bank or other financial institution that is not linked to any particular account. It involves the use of computer network, particularly internet, for the transfer of money. So basically electronic money means when, like electronic payment type, electronic money means when I just go to the shop and make a payment, right? Or I just want to withdraw some amount, I just make a payment for some purchases, so there is a required a pin. When I want to use like I just go to the shop and the vendor told me just make a payment through card, I just put it the card or that machine and they ask for the pin, I just fill out the pin and the transaction has been held, right? So this is the part of electronic money. When we talk about the electronic purse and digital cash, so basically electronic purse It is the money balance recorded electronically on a stored value card. These cards have microprocessor embedded which can be loaded with a monetary value. It includes like Paytm wallet, Ola Money wallet, MobiKwik wallet. Example of this, like electronic purse or wallet can be used for different types of account. Uh, Now move to digital cash. So digital cash is a system of purchasing cash credit in small amount, storing the credit in the computer and then spending while making electronic purchases over the internet. So it includes credit card, debit card, smart card and e-wallet, etc. Right. So these are the concept of digital banking. So use of digital banking has resulted in operational risk not only in the world but also in India. The customer often fear that their money may be targeted by cyberspace rovers. So in view of use new technology, there is a need for the surveillance, monitoring and auditing to detect unusual usage pattern and deficiency. This requires adequate safeguards to ensure security covering physical and other aspects. So, in order to minimize transaction risk, banks should have a security policy duly approved by the board or directors. They should introduce logical access controls to data, system, application, software, utilities, telecommunication lines, etc. BankPay and FlexCube are the most popular e-banking solution used for securing electronic transaction in India. Biometrics is another security paradigm to verify the identity of a person besides a PIN. Right. Now, as compared to the traditional digital banking, the traditional one is focused approach of massive branch expansion, mobilization of savings, and diversification of credit facilities have resulted in widening as well as deepening of the financial infrastructure in the company. So, with the Indian banking sector now approaching the phase third reforms, the main growth drivers are has increased retail credit demands, proliferation of ATMs, debit cards, decreasing NPS, that is non-profit asset, with the introduction of Securitization Act, improved macroeconomic condition, diversification, interest rate spreads along with regularity and policy changes. So the revolution in the field of internet has brought in another important services for the bank customer known as core banking or centralized solutions. In this system, the bank customer are authorized to transact the banking business in any branch of a bank in a centralized environment. It implies that the entire information stored at the central server of the bank connected to the branches through the networking system. This allows the withdrawal of funds and to conduct any banking transaction there anywhere in the country from a branch connected to CBS system. Right. So the commercial banks which offer online banking are called brick to click. It provides a real-time view of finances and elimination the need for various visits to a bank. Many of the banks which provide electronic banking facilities still provide branch service also. This distinguishes them from brick and mortar banks which offer no online services. More and more banking services are now being accessed remotely rather than through branch banking. Technology has not only assumed the role of facilitator, it is also a source of competitive advantage for the banks. So that's all for today. So thank you so much.